Hello and welcome to your geography class. I am Sukhdeep Kaur. Today we are going to start our chapter number 2 and again it is in the continuity. Whatever chapters we discuss, no matter whatever subject is there, the chapters do come in some of the relevance from the first chapter that we have gone through or read. So यहाँ पे हमने chapter पढ़ा था resources. So this chapter is of course going to be related to the resources itself. And in this chapter, we are going to discuss various types of resources. For example, land, soil, water, natural vegetation and wildlife. So these are the basic resources found on the earth and they do occur naturally. We are talking about no contribution of humankind or human resources in there. Of course, from these resources, humans are extracting the raw material and further processing it or transforming it into the human made resources. So, for the today's class, our topic is these variety of resources. So, let's start our today's class. In this chapter, we will discuss all these resources one by one. So, we are going to start with the land as a resource. So, we are going to discuss deeper about what the land as a resource, how we are using it, what are the criterias, how to conserve it and how we are wasting it or overusing it or polluting it. You have many options to pick over here. So, let us begin our today's class. Over here, different lives in different parts of the world. We are talking about the humankind living on the landmass. Landmass, I hope we remember that on the earth there is unequal distribution of the land and water. Land is present in 30%, water is present in the 70% area of the total earth. Now we are talking about the land, and if we are talking about the land, we do know that there are variety of landscapes, land shapes or relief features all over the world. Talking about relief features, वो क्या होते हैं? So let me make it simplify for you. These are the plains, plateaus, mountains, rivers, valleys, islands. So these are the variety of landshapes that are present on the earth. And according to the landscape, certain kind of climatic conditions are available. So that makes the individual ecosystem. It means, look for this image. This is the image of desert. So people living in this region are experiencing certain kind of climatic condition, जिसमें क्या जाता है temperature and rainfall. Along with that, the desert is one of the relief features. Looking at the second, it is the snowy region. We are talking about the mountains and that too snow covered mountains. So temperature completely pole apart, further moving, again the mountainous region but the cultivated one, and ahead we are talking about the modern cities. So there are different types of people, lives living in the different parts of the world. This is what image is showing according to this statement that is given here. Moving ahead with the descriptive part. So description becomes more easier if we are going to understand with the help of images or flow charts. So for your help, here is the one. We are going to talk about the reason of the differences. We have just discussed that in different parts of the world, different lives are living or different types of people are living in certain kind of climatic conditions and relief features. So basically the reasons are given in this entire flow chart. So we have the quality difference of the lives living in the different parts of the world. So now this quality depends on some basic features, as in just talk about the land. In some parts of the world, the land is of good quality. It means can be good for the agriculture part, it can be good for the construction part and various other purposes. And in some parts of the world, it can be the barren land, barren, unfertile, not of any use, that kind of thing. Similarly, taking the example of soil, again the quality of soil, although we know that there are various types of soil and they are various, they are categorized on the basis of their fertility. So most fertile soil, least fertile soil, good quality, bad quality. Going with a head part, that is water. So Good quality of water that we can consume, that is the fresh water, that is hardly 1% present on the earth. Rest of the 99%, and out of that 99, 97.3 can't be consumed because it is salty water, saline water. Remaining part, either it is found in underground or it is in the glaciers. Coming ahead with the natural vegetation. So all these are the points considered in the concern of quality. Natural vegetation ka quality, if it can be of economic value, then we can certainly just categorize it in the good quality, bad quality, or whatsoever quality. Then going with the animals, again it depends on the utility. How so? Lion, it is of a good purpose, but we are not supposed to fulfill that purpose. For that we have to hunt it, and hunting and poaching of animal is banned completely. And of course we have no right to kill the other living being. Animals are living being. So in here we are talking about the quality, we are talking about the products that we are obtaining from them without harming them. So milk products and fur, that is the form of raw form of wool actually. Then lastly we do have usage of technology. How quality difference in usage of technology can affect the difference of the people living in different part of the world, as in the quality of technology that has been achieved and the quality of technology that we still have to obtain. So that is the quality difference in this case. So these are the basic reasons of how these reasons are affecting the different lives living in the different parts of the world. Moving ahead with another flowchart, so it is informing us about the distribution of the population all over the world. So there is the 30% of land area that is highly populated, and 70% of area is the sparsely populated. Sparsely matlab less populated. So you can consider over here 30% of the land area is 90% populated. Matlab maximum populated region of the world is hardly 30%, and less sparsely बहुत कम populated जो area है that is 70%, remaining 71%. So why only 30% is highly populated? Because of the land use, where we are using land as a prominent resource. How so? Again we can use the land in various purposes. We have already counted few, likewise for agriculture, for construction, for mining and various other purposes. Then land, if we have to discuss its descriptive part, तो फ्लो चार्ट हमने डिस्कस कर लिया, इमेज हमने डिस्कस कर ली. नाउ इट्स द टाइम टू डिस्कस इट्स डिस्क्रिप्टिव पार्ट दैट वी हैव टू राइट ऑल्सो इन आर आंसर. सो हियर इज दैट land is among the most important natural resource. It is naturally occurring. Humans have not contributed in the creation, discovery or invention of the land. It is a free gift of nature. But yes, humans are resourcing this free gift of nature according to their needs, requirements and all that. It covers only about 30% of the total area of the earth's surface, and all parts of this small percentage, it is small percentage, is not habitable. Not habitable, it means we cannot survive over there due to certain conditions. And what can be those conditions? Mainly two. कौन सी हैं? One can be the climatic condition comprising temperature, rainfall. So either the temperature is extremely high or the temperature is extremely low. That what calls for climatic conditions effect. And other feature is the relief feature. It means the region is inaccessible. So we can talk about the deeper forests, likewise Amazon forest. They are dense forests, they are evergreen forests. So still some parts of the Amazon rainforests are inaccessible. हम वहाँ तक पहुँच ही नहीं पाए हैं. Okay, moving ahead. Uneven. Uneven means not the balance. At some parts or within some parts, population is living densely, ज़्यादा population है, and in some parts the population is least inhabiting. Uneven population distribution is mainly due to land and climate. As I was saying, climatic condition and relief features, that is creating the differences. And it can be understood with the help of images that I am going to share ahead. For a while, the reasons for sparsely inhabiting the region or densely inhabiting the region are with us. Now we have the reason for sparsely populated or uninhabited areas. It means the areas where still people are unable to reach. So what are the reasons? Either it is a rugged topography. If we are talking about the topography, graphy is the study, topo of the land shape. So rugged means rough, not suitable for the construction part, and without construction how the people are going to survive over there. We need a shelter, and shelter can be constructed in the plain region at least where the construction can have the base. And rugged topography is the uneven landscape. The construction can't be done over in such areas. Steep slopes of the mountain. Steeps likewise. There are two types of slopes, steep and gentle one. So just think on your own on which type of slope the construction work can be done or the people can inhabit that area. Of course, not the steep one, they can live on the gentle slopes. Low-lying areas. Low-lying areas means prone to waterlogging. It means such areas that easily get waterlogged. Waterlogging, pani bhar jana, due to the flooding of a nearby water body. It can be the river, it can be the seas as well. Then desert areas are not that supportive in the purpose of inhabitation. Thick forested areas, again these are not entirely inaccessible, but yes, these are not supporting the lives in their particular regions. Then densely populated areas, what are the factors affecting them? How does plains affect these areas? As plains provide each and everything suitably for the construction part, for the inhabitation part. River valleys, they do provide fertile soil for the good agriculture part, and of course agriculture can be done in plains as well. Reasons: offer suitable land for agriculture. This is the reason for these 2 points as why there is densely settled population in the plains and in river valleys. Then land uses. As I was saying, I will share some pictures with you for the various types of uses of land. So this is that image. So the land can be used for agriculture part, it can be used for industries, setup of the industries, it can be used for the construction of roads, cities, it can be used for the construction of houses, and various other uses can be there, and they are there, and that can be seen and observed with the help of this as well. How so? Uses of land is determined by physical factors, as the last image is showing that these are constructed or can be established in the plains. So physical factors comprises topography. The last image is the proof of that. Soil can affect the fertility, can call upon or can invite more and more farmers to reside in the region and do the agriculture. Climate, suitable climate, neither extreme hot nor too cold is the suitable climate for the residing part. Minerals, availability of minerals in certain areas that are not accessible, but still वहाँ पे mining हो सकती है. So yes, of course people can go there and they can live over there. And lastly, we do have the availability of water. It can attract the people who are involved in agriculture or who are indulged in the construction of dam or such kind of activities. That can be done with the availability of, if not the abundance of water, at least with the availability of good amount of water. So ये थे physical factors that affects the use of land. Further, we do have human factors are also important that can determine the land use, and for the human factors we do have population and technology. So both have to go parallel. Concern is, if a barren land is there, it can't be used for the living purpose. Living purpose in the terms construction can be done, but occupational thing can't be done over there in the terms of agriculture, for example. Moving ahead with our going on topic, we have the classification of land on the basis of ownership. By now we have discussed about the land as a resource and what are the factors that can affect the uses of the land. And now we are going to talk about who are the owners of the land or who can be the owners of the land. So ownership can be on two bases. Ownership over here is described in two parts. So one can own the land and community can own the land. One can own the land, matlab private property. Community can own the land where the entire community is owning the land. For example, you can own your own house, your flat, your factory, whatever land you have, whether it is for agriculture or any other thing. Community land, land for hospitals, where hospitals are constructed, public parks and other public places. So they come in community land. Further going with that, we have some defines and information related to private land and community land. So private land is owned by individual, owned by one. Community land, common property resources, the full form, or to be referred also as, it is owned by the community for the common uses. Common uses where the entire community can use it for various purposes. Examples are collection of fodder. Fodder is the food crop of the animals, and for the humans it is not the fodder, that is the food crop itself. So food and fodder, there is a difference between the crops grown for animals and humans. So fodder is the crop grown for the animals part, and collection of fodder can be done from the community land in the villages by doing the agriculture of that particular crop. Collection of fruits can be grown on a community land. Collection of nuts can be grown on the community land. Collection of medicinal herbs can be grown on the community land as well. So these are the few. There are various other purposes of the community land. Moving ahead, people and their demands keep growing. As the population is growing, the demands are growing, but land is limited. Population is increasing, demand is increasing for the resources, but the resources are limited. There is just 30% land on the earth. So whatever land is present, humans have to utilize that, but they are unstoppable. So their demands keep on growing day by day, but the stock of the land as a resource is in limited amount or count. Then quality of land also differs from place to place. Of course, we have discussed what if about the plains and mountains itself. There is a huge difference straightforwardly. Mountains are elevated lands and the plains are plains almost by the surface of the sea level itself. So they do provide different types of resources for different types of purposes as well. People started encroaching. Encroaching means occupying a particular area illegally. That is encroaching. So people started encroaching the common land because they don't have the sufficient amount of land with them. So what else they are going to do? They are encroaching the community land or the government land. Likewise, for example, you must have seen in your cities or wherever you are residing, the people used to reside by the roadside, in the tents, in the sheds, whatever sources they have with them. So they are encroaching the public property or the community land as well. Then they are encroaching their lands to, whose lands? Community lands, to build up commercial areas. If you ask your parents, they can easily give you the best example that few years back, wherever you are residing, I don't know exactly from which part of India or from wherever you are watching this video, but it is quite a simple fact. 10 saal pehle, whatever the area or your locality was to be, it has been changed drastically. Of course, in the positive way, population has grown, it has been more inhabited, ज़्यादा लोग रहने लगे, but still changes are there. So I am talking about those changes only. The land was for the agriculture purpose or for some other purpose. Now it is being used for commercial areas. Commercial means for building the or constructing the shops, malls likewise, and housing projects in the urban areas. Taking a best example over here, likewise outside the cities, there is the plenty of land available for the agriculture part, but as towns or cities are increasing in their expansion, so they do need more and more land. From where they are going to get it? They are not going to spare that agricultural land ki isko chhod do, we can go ahead of that. No, because The one who is owing that agricultural land, वो उसका private land है, they can sell it, they can earn profit, and profit को no one says no. So that is how agricultural land is being now used for the commercial areas, construction and the housing projects, to expand the agricultural land in the rural areas as well. Then major threats to the environment, and we are talking about the land resources particularly. So because of the expansion of agriculture and construction activities, likewise expansion of commercial areas, expansion of housing projects, land degradation is going on, landslides are occurring frequently, soil erosion is going on frequently, desertification where once was a time ki अच्छी खासी खेती होती थी, now just blowing sand is there, only blowing soil is remaining, हवा के साथ मिट्टी उड़ रही है, nothing else, because agricultural land has been sold for the commercial purpose or housing projects या किसी भी काम के लिए it's been sold out. Now desertification, it means no vegetation is there. If no vegetation is there, of course it is going to affect the soil, and the soil erosion. Erosion is the depletion of the top layer of the soil. Soil खराब हो रही है, soil loose है, तो landslides are occurring in the mountainous region because we are deforesting those regions, and of course the quality of land is degrading. Then these are the 4 images just to show you the difference. Remember, मैंने अभी थोड़ी देर पहले कहा था that you can ask your parents that how your locality was few years back and how it is right now. You can see the clear difference in these 4 images, and the topic is itself change in land use over time. At first agricultural land, then a part of the land was sold out for the construction part of the houses, then more and more expansion of the city, and then finally the agricultural land is replaced by the commercial areas and the housing projects. So that is how by the time and by the growing demand of the land, once this land was there and now it has become this a full flourished city. Moving ahead, conservation of land resources. Of course it is required. If we are going to degrade the land, how we are going to fulfill our requirements? We do have various types of requirements, starting with the agriculture itself. खाना मिलता है भाई agriculture से, so that is the most important part. So growing population and rising demands have caused ये कारण बनाया किस चीज़ का, large scale destruction of forest and arable land. Arable land, a land on which agriculture can be done. So growing population with their growing demand has drastically depleted the forest and the agriculture land. Therefore, the present rate of degradation of land must be checked. Checked in the terms, it should be keenly observed that with which speed we are using or our agricultural land or usable land is decreasing. We should be more cautious about that. Then some common methods, reasons are with us, and how we should conserve, these are those points. So of course soil erosion hai, we should do such things that should stop the soil erosion, and we should stop deforestation so that landslide should not be there. So likewise there are few measures. So to stop the deforestation, what should we opt? We should opt afforestation. And for the land reclamation is there regulated use, regulated in control, in limit use of chemical pesticides and fertilizers within the crops, because with the rainwater it gets washed away, it mixes up with the soil and depletes the quality of soil. Then checks on overgrazing. Overgrazing of a land mass or a land piece repeatedly, it will decrease the fertility or decrease the fertile quality of the soil, and of course it's going to make the land barren, because एक time आएगा fertility is going to end almost, and after that nothing can't be grown. Moving ahead, weathering. So weathering is basically the process in which rocks do disintegrate, टूटते हैं, and it leads to the final thing, that is soil formation. And weathering is also a part in the terms of breaking up and decay. Decay matlab, just it's not the part of decomposition, but entirely it goes up with one term, that is disintegration. So breaking up and disintegration of exposed rocks by. Now, rocks are exposed in the temperature and within the water itself. So, whether the rocks are coming in contact with the water or with the air or with the temperature, they are being broken and they are being eroded away with the help of these three of the agents: temperature, air and water. How so? So, temperature changes, every rock particle do have some minerals, every mineral do have either or type of chemical composition. When that chemical composition or when those chemicals come in contact with the high temperature or low temperature, or they come in contact with the variation of the diurnal temperature, during day temperature rises, during night temperature drops. With this continuous fluctuation of the temperature, the chemical composition of the rocks get reacted, and that is how the top layer of the rocks get split up. It breaks away the topmost layer of the rock. Frost action, temperature difference. So, frosting is the extreme cool temperature, or it can goes up to the minus as well. Plants, animals and human activities also breaks the rock. As human activity, for the construction part, we are displacing the rocks, we are just completely taking away the layer of the rocks from the soil surface for various purposes. So, we are displacing them, and in this displacement process the rocks are splitting up, they are breaking away. Plants can grow out of the rock, as in if any seed was displaced or misplaced, or by the grace of nature itself a seed was lying within the soil, and somehow during the displacement of the rocks, naturally or due to the human activities, so that seed is being buried by the soil and onto the top a rock is lying. But again, the grace of nature and the gift of nature, the plant has to grow. So, it will give the cracks within the rock and the rock will split up into two parts, yet the plant will grow. पौधे को उगना ही उगना है at the last. And finally, animals likewise, rabbits, mouse, snakes, they make burrows, खड्डे बना लेते हैं अपने living concern के लिए. They do make burrows within the soil, and if any kind of, whether rabbit, snake या कोई भी एक reptile है or any other animal who are living and who are fond of living within the beneath layer of the soil, तो when they are going to make the burrow, तो उनका जो top layer है, whether the rocks are lying or anything is on to the top of the soil, that will be displaced because the bottom will become hollow. नीचे से base ही खाली हो गया, हिल गया, तो how the upper layer या उसके ऊपर अगर पत्थर भी पड़ा है वो कैसे टिका रहेगा. So, पत्थर इधर उधर shift हो जाएगा. Again, the process will be the split up or the breaking away of the rock particles. The temperature, plants, animals, human activities, temperature में बहुत ज़्यादा ठंड, all these factors are going to complete the process of weathering, that is the breaking away of the rock or removal of the top layer of the rock by the splitting up. So, that was all about our today's class for the natural resources concern in the topic land. Natural resources because it is naturally occurring. Of course, natural resources भी एक individual topic बन जाता है. So, that was all about our today's class. We have discussed about a natural resource or a resource, that is land. We have discussed about its uses. We have discussed about its distribution, the factors affecting them, and how population is overusing the land. Then we have discussed the conservation methods of the usage of the land, various uses of the land. Now is the time to recall whatever we have discussed with the help of few MCQ parts. So, here is the first question. What percentage of the earth is covered by land? So, it is particularly 30% because 70% is the water. Which method is not a land conservation practice? So, afforestation is a land conservation practice, regulated, controlled. All of the above can't be there because one answer there is wrong, that is overgrazing. So, all the wrong answer, correct answer. This is not a method of land conservation because we are doing the overuse of land. Then what is the primary reason, basic reason that plains are densely populated, that they are heavily populated? So for that is the proximity to forest, nearness to forest? Not at all. Rugged terrain, rough region? No, it will decrease the population. So the population will be sparsely populated in these areas. Then comes extreme climatic condition? Not at all, it is not in favor. So our answer is availability of sustainable and suitable land for agriculture. So that was all about our today's first class of chapter number 2. I hope it was clear, a bit lengthy, but yes, a useful chapter. We have come to know how we can protect the land, that is a natural resource, a free gift of nature. So see you soon in the next class. Till then, take care. Bye bye.